All right, Knicks family. You know today, Knicks just had their first preseason game. Scored 90-84 against the Pistons. We just thought we'd come on, and do a little Knicks recap. I'm happy that they won because it's preseason. It's not supposed to count. But, the Knicks, they need to try to start building a culture of winning. So we're just going to go over a few little things about what we saw from some of the players and some of the coaches. But, Joy, what interests me was Tibbs coached this like it was a real game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, look, he went with a starting 5. His second unit, he played 6, so that's 11. But a lot of guys didn't play for a preseason game. And you're probably not going to play 11 guys, but that was kind of like a tight rotation. So we're going to just jump right into the starting 5 was Peyton, surprisingly Burt, RJ, Randall, and Nerlens Noel. And I think it was Knicks Fan TV. Somebody called that starting lineup early in the day. So somebody already had the info on that. But the second unit now of DSJ, Frank, Knox, Obi, and Mitch, they did their thing.
Yeah, I like that lineup.
Woo! I mean, they
needed some fine tuning, but I kind of like with Ntilikina in there.
Well, Ntilikina, I mean Knox did. I mean Obi took it over the top. But even with Mitch after selling in from them fouls, even Mitch gave us some good minutes. On the defensive side. And then, Frank did his thing. DSJ, it's the indecisiveness still with him. I know first preseason game, but I think the Knicks need a point guard. Yeah, I don't know about you.
Nah.
we need a point guard.
The whole game. Like it was to the point where I was like, maybe Ntilikina should be our point guard. That's how I was feeling after a while. Like maybe he should just be the starting point.
Everybody, they all did something good, but nobody took total control of the game. Even Peyton, what Peyton gave us driving to the hole after he settled down. But we want to see the guy. We want to see them get other guys involved.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. Ntilikina, I feel like got the guys involved.
Yeah, Joe.
But he wasn't playing. DSJ was just throwing away the ball.
He just want that.
Look, Elvin Payton was just giving the ball to Randall.
Randall was giving the ball to Elton Payton. Because there was times he could have threw it out.
Versa.
He could have threw it out to a shooter. That was my main problem with Randall. I mean, we were saying during the game, why is Randall the one popping out, getting the ball? But that's something the coaching them got to fix.
Randall out there playing my career. I don't know what's going on.
Listen, Randall got the mentality of what a star player does. He's just not really showing star player potential. That's why he should come off the bench. So Tibbs went with a veteran starting lineup, minus RJ. RJ, to me, there's something missing. Yeah. I don't know how you feel, but something missing with RJ. But I look at that second unit. That second unit, I mean, I would like to see Bullock, when he's in the game, because he's a shooter, I would like to see Bullock get the ball more. But by design. Because when Peyton and RJ was missing those jumpers, it's a reason why you're open. They was moving the ball, but you wide open for a reason. Because people know you can't shoot.
Yeah, him and Elvin Payton, they shooting didn't even look like they was even trying to shoot.
It looked like JV they're shooting. But as far as Tibbs, he was coaching like it was a regular season game.
Yeah, defense was fine. But remember what I said, like the Rex Ryan, like defense is fine. It can be scored.
Yeah, because it started out with the defense. It started out like, remember I was saying like they're getting the turnovers, but is it them getting the turnovers, or is it the first game too for Detroit?
Yeah, that could be.
But the fact that they were coming up with the loose balls or those little deflections was a good sign for the Knicks. So that means Tibbs is going to have them locked in on defense, because you start looking at what Randall was doing. He wasn't stopping nobody, but he had his hands up. He just got to get used to closing out. Not having your hand up. Having your hand up is not enough. But he'll learn how to close out quicker, and he'll learn how to close out while he's in his stance. And I think that's what Tibbs is going to do for him. But, I mean, Knox played a decent game. You know, he's a little bit aggressive. Not as aggressive as Obi. Obi looked like he gonna be a real, the real deal, in this game.
Real deal, Holyfield.
I mean, we got something to build around him.
That boy cool.
Yeah, but so for the first game of a preseason, the Knicks look. I mean, we talked before about what can propel you if you was trying to make a playoff run, and then for the Knicks, it's the efficiency that even if you're not a shooter. Like Peyton and DSJ, if you're wide open as an NBA player, it's your duty, it's your job to knock down an open routine shot. And that's the difference between losing by 5 and winning by 3. That little bit right there, those few little jumpers that y'all get, all by yourself, you have to knock down those routine jumpers. But I think right now, the Knicks need a point guard, and I really believe now, because Randall went to Atlanta. Randall. Who we say the guard from the Lakers? Rondo. If we had Rondo right now, we would be in pretty good shape. Because he will find those shooters coming off those curls when they're open. And all our guys were doing was just moving the ball around, ended up in the wrong shooter's hands.
Yeah, it seems like Obi seemed like he knew what he was doing. He got up there and was just making, not even though just making stuff happen, making plays happen, pushing the ball. He pushed the ball all the way to the basket.
No, I like what I saw I like that aggressiveness that Obi showed.
Doing the stuff that everybody don't really want to do and bringing the ball up court. So his 3-pointer was a little bit wild. I say that.
That will.
Yeah,
that I think that will come on the continuity. But I think if he even stayed with that second unit in the second half too, even a little bit longer, because they were starting to develop something.
Yeah.
I like when they was getting stops in the second unit, the way they were turning to get out and run. Little signs like that shows that the Knicks could have a good team if they could knock down routine shots.
Now, I would like to see that young second unit with Austin Rivers maybe and see what happens.
I mean, he would help it because he would be aggressive too and go into the hole and pushing it. And he could stop and shoot. Because if we don't get shooting at that point guard position, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't for the life of me, though, understand why we started Burt, but it was like he wasn't even out there.
Yeah, it was like a 4-on-5.
Yeah, so you can't even blame Burt for what I was looking at. I couldn't blame him for the way the ball was moving. But you can't have a guy like that out there and not be able to find him, on a second or third shot.
If Ray Allen was getting 2 screens on the Celtics, I don't see why any shooter can at least get 1.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be a problem.
I don't even think not one person set him a screen or bullet the whole game.
Yeah, and I think that's the advantage too, that when I said it before, we still should have went after that stretch 4. I think we need a stretch 4 still. And then we could also use Knox in that role.
Ingram need Knox.
Nah, Ingram. Well, them guys that signed them big contracts, they're not going nowhere. So, but there was other guys that they still could have got. But we need a point guard that can knock down a shot. Yeah. Or we're going to be in trouble. So what we want to do now, though, we want to be able to ask y'all, even though it's after one game, just for the guys that play, because even the guys that didn't get in, other than Quigley, not many of them is going to be a part of the rotation anyway. So Quigley, we know, Austin probably will if he's still here with us. So who probably could be one of the main people out? Because that now you're talking about 13 people would have played, So, and I would like to see Michael Kidd in there. That's 14. You definitely can't play 14 people. So somebody got to be the odd man out. We know one of them point guards. You can't have 3 point guards playing. So one of them got to be the odd man out. I think whoever's the best one that can be able to get us in rotation. I was a little bit disappointed, though, in DSJ. I was expecting more speed, and we didn't get that.
I thought this was the game where he was gonna get his mental back.
Yeah, I mean it's one game.
He didn't get it.
So you can't get too high or too low over one preseason game.
He even waved everybody off and did the ISO and didn't really do nothing.
Yeah, but I
seen
everybody
that off just to pass it. So
yeah, that's because of the rotation. Like not a lot of practice time. I think they said last Sunday, whatever it was the first day that all the players was able to get out there together. But still, just on instincts, and even with the coach, if you're going to try to start a veteran unit, then there's certain things that veteran teams just run those. Then run those basic floppy plays. At least just to get them going. But I'm glad, I'm happy with Coach. With the way he tried to coach his team, because he was trying to take away them bad habits right away. And that's something a lot of our coaches didn't have the guts to do.
Throwing away the ball.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like,
we just got to do something about Randall. And I'm for Randall in the second unit. Because he can get buckets.
Yeah, it just hurt my mouth the whole game.
Nah, they didn't want to hit But they don't. Nah, Randall needs to be in there.
You can't tell me Randall wasn't just.
Yeah, but Joey, nobody else is coming. But nobody else is coming to the ball though. We need people to be assertive. Other than Obi when he was out there. But they wasn't out there together. But you do need people to come and get the ball. Randall just get it and move it. Like we don't need you doing all that in the starting lineup. That stuff for somebody coming off the bench and you have that kind of score. But still, you need that. You need that on your team. You need that in your lineup. You need a guy that's going to search for a shot. It's up to all of our coaches now to fix that in the way that he goes about it. So the same way you was praising Frank, who drove into the corner and threw the ball away, I'm kind of praising Randall just because I know that sometimes that when things get bad, see that little drought we had when they caught up. Our defense kept us in the game. I think we were like 8-9 shots without scoring. So you still got to have a guy like Randall. He can break the ice for you. And then Bullock, we have to look for Bullock. He has to be our sniper. So anytime he enters the game, they got to find him in those corners, search for him for those shots. And most of the time, it's probably going to be the hockey assist where he's going to get those shots. But that's what we have to do. So, I mean, give me the best and worst thing you saw from this game.
The best thing, the overall defense. The worst thing.
I see you gonna pick up Randall. You gonna see? I'm gonna leave Frank. I'm gonna leave Frank alone, but you're gonna leave Randall alone. Because without Randall,
the worst thing was the turnovers. That was the worst. It was like nonchalant turnovers in the shooting. That was the worst. The shooting
for me was more than because turnovers you're gonna get.
I'm talking about
new players
turning it over
early in the season. Yeah, the shooting was killing me because even I don't care if you hadn't played in 2 years. If you get a wide open shot, you have to be able to knock that down. That's the thing for me that's going to kill me waiting for them to develop. Knock down your open shot. I'm not saying shoot over somebody in transition, but a wide open shot, knock that down because that's going to be our difference. When we lose by 1 or 2 or 3 points, that's going to come back to haunt us every single day. And if we played a game with a team that had a real star, so we don't know because Detroit is like us. They don't really got no real star player. They had guys that used to be stars. Yeah. So when you playing a team with a real star player, and we're not even going to get that from Cleveland for 2 games in the preseason because they don't got no real star. So I think just like I like the way coaches like creating habits that can take us a long way.
Yeah, the closing out to me was pretty bad too, but
yeah, because you got to learn, and I seen it. And it's funny how, I know they're going to correct this, but I've seen a couple of our guys close out with the wrong hand. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're right-handed, you close out, a right-hand shooter got to be closed out with the guy with the left hand. And then you're still in your stance. So you run them off that shot, but you're still able to stay with them. So I've seen that a few times, but I know they're going to correct that. Tibbs is definitely going to correct that. And they got Mike Woodson on the bench, too. But I do also like how when the players was going out the game, when they would show all the assistant coaches talking to somebody. So that means they teaching. So that's a good sign, for Payne and Johnny Davis and them guys. So, overall, I mean, we got the win because you want to try to build, it doesn't mean anything, but you want to try to build a winning culture and winning habits. All right, so the next game is Sunday. I'm watching all of that too. But I'm not really watching for wins and losses. I'm watching for how we're developing and as they tighten up that rotation.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So we're gonna see y'all again next Thursday. And then we're gonna probably dive into one or two players. Obi's probably definitely gonna be one of them. And we're gonna try to pinpoint where the Knicks can go from here. Because they're not gonna bring in a star player, as we can see, even with the money they got left. So we're gonna have to rely on somebody we have to get us over the hump, on some of these hard games. And I hate to say, because I know nobody wants him, but Randall, unless he's traded, is going to be a key part of this team. And we got to find a way to figure out how do we rally around the New York Knicks, because he's going to be a part of it. And when the stuff gets dry and we need points, Randall is one of those people we're going to have to count on. I don't want to have to count on him, but But as a team, they're gonna have to count on Randall because they're gonna have to come from somewhere. Points are gonna have to come from somewhere. Obi can't give you 90 points a game.
No, you can't.
RJ, my disappointment in RJ for today. I'm not even gonna chalk that up as a first game in the preseason. I'm gonna chalk that up as RJ has to learn. He got to take this game by the throat. And I don't even want to say. Can't say that. Put your knee on somebody's neck. But that's the kind of player he got to be. He got to be a pit bull, or we got to put another person at that spot that can hit a shot, So you want to add anything, Joey, before we close?
Nope. Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know down in the comments what y'all thought about tonight. I know it's the first game, but what did y'all think?
It's the New York Knicks. We back. Cheers.